Hey, good morning, South Park. It is January the 6th. Hey, hopefully everybody's home safe and sound, enjoying their snow day, their day off, but we need to be responsible and make sure that we get our work done. So, everybody, please pull out your computers and let's go to the hydrosphere notes. The very first thing is we're going to do a quick review here, and I want to make sure everybody's up to date so we can start off on Tuesday where we need to be. All right, the very first thing is that there are four spheres. The hydrosphere deals with water, the biosphere deals with living, geosphere deals with rocks and the land, and the atmosphere deals with the air. All right, the hydrosphere is all the water on planet Earth. That is fresh water and salt water, and also water in the atmosphere. So you have all your fresh water, that is the Ohio River, the Allegheny River, the Monongahela River. You have all the Great Lakes. And of course, you have salt water, the Atlantic Ocean, and the Pacific Ocean, and the Gulf of Mexico. If you've been to Ocean City, Maryland, or Myrtle Beach, or Cape May, New Jersey, or Jacksonville, or the Outer Banks of North Carolina, that is dealing with the Atlantic Ocean. If you've been to Dana Point, California, San Diego, Half Moon Bay, that is the Pacific Ocean. All right, so those are the salt water. All right. Let me see what other. Now, everyone should have these notes, and I'm just reviewing them. Make sure that you realize anything that I have in a different color, you better have in a different color because it is something that you will see on a test or a quiz. All right. Water that is below the surface is called groundwater. Any of those people that might have a honey cavern, that might have well water, this is the groundwater that I'm talking about. All right. The hydrosphere can be found in all three states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, snow, look out your window. Ice, look out your window. Liquid would be in the form of a river, a lake, a stream, rain. And gas, water vapor, in the atmosphere, clouds, and fog. All right. As I said earlier, liquid water exists in oceans, lakes, rivers, streams, creeks, and ponds. All right. We have our pictures here. This is a great place if you ever have a chance to go. This is in Oregon. This is Crater Lake. What it was a volcano that collapsed. And we were there maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. Absolutely phenomenal. Have that in your notes. This is the Snake River in Idaho. Just for the effects of the lakes, rivers, streams. All right, make sure you have your pictures in your notes. Um, Water vapor or water in the form of gas is all around us all the time. You know what? I want to do something real quick. I want to put this in a different color just so that it's updated and I know for a fact that you know to update it. So water vapor or water in the form of gas is in the air all around us all the time. Obviously, I'm pretty sure I told everyone to put pictures of the clouds on theirs. All right. Um, the solid state of the hydrosphere is frozen water. Frozen water. Frozen water can be found outside your window in the form of snow, hail, frost, glaciers, and icebergs. All right. I know for a fact that we put this in our notes. There's a picture of an iceberg right here, and snow in the trees here, and the frozen form hail right here. All right. And this is in Alaska, and that is a glacier, which is basically a frozen river of ice. Water moves through the different spheres on Earth through the water cycle. Now, when we come back, we'll be making a map of the water cycle, and we'll be hanging those up. You guys have done some tremendous work this year. Tremendous work. Things I'm very proud of that I hang up on all around the school. I think the last one we did was how a hurricane will attack the Gulf of Mexico states or the Atlantic Ocean. You guys did a phenomenal job. That's why they're hanging up in the hallway. So thank you very much for your professionalism there. All right. This is something that we're going to be doing here in class. The most important thing you have to remember about the water cycle is not actually the water. It is that our friend, Mr. Sun, is the engine that starts the water cycle. Without that sun, the water cycle will not begin, will not continue, will all cease. That water cycle depends on our friend, Mr. Sun. All right. We'll do all this in class. Obviously, the sun makes the water, heats the water up, it evaporates, it condenses, and the condensation. Condensation then goes in the form of precipitation, which is obviously outside if you look out your window, in the form of either rain, sleet, snow, or hail, and it's outside right now. All right, obviously, going a little bit fast. This is just a more, let's say, higher level water cycle, but it's just the same as that one. Once again, this is maybe a 5th or 6th grade version. This might be a 9th or 10th grade version, but the elements are the same. The foundation of the lesson is the same. Once again, I will make sure that you understand the terminology from a 5th, 6th, or 7th grade level, but I could put you in a college classroom, and if you just study your notes and listen to me, you would be able to do fine in the college classroom. The theories, the information is the same. Terminology might change a little bit. It obviously going to get more detailed, but for the most part, whatever I'm teaching you in this 5th grade science class is something you could use definitely in 11th, 12th grade classroom, and also in a freshman level college classroom. All right, I'm pretty confident about that right there. Obviously, solid, liquid, gas is your water cycle. Water cycle is very important. Without the water cycle, the biosphere would experience drought. Drought is a situation where you have no precipitation. Now, a lot of people only think of drought as no rain, but also drought can also be no snow. If you do not have snow over the cooler or the winter months, that can lead to a drought in the spring. This right here is a picture of extreme drought and how nothing will grow whatsoever. Matter of fact, Western Pennsylvania is in a drought situation. We had a very dry fall that carried over to winter. Now I know we're getting some snow here. We got to make it up, but I think we're maybe 5 or 6 inches below where we need to be to fill up that water table, the groundwater below Western Pennsylvania. All right. The hydrosphere allows all life on Earth. This is a note here, or that image was to pick your favorite animal. So we went with a flamingo here. The hydrosphere affects the biosphere. The ocean has a powerful influence on the atmosphere. Water takes a longer time to cool down or heat up. That's why if you go close to the ocean, close to the Great Lakes, it's either warmer or cooler depending on that lake. All right, now we have a lake house up there right next to the lake. That lake, even to this day, even though it might be 19, 20 degrees in Conneaut, Ohio, that lake still is around 45 degrees. So 25, 30 degrees above the air temperature. And that's why you have lake effect snow. All right. Most of the heat from the sun is absorbed by your oceans or lakes. That's why if you go down to Florida in the summertime, that water is phenomenal and it's just nice and warm. The reason why, it's obviously absorbing the sunlight from the sun. The closer to the equator, the more direct sunlight. That's why the water is warmer. And around the North Pole, where Santa lives, it's colder because they get less sunlight. All right. Coming down. the ocean currents. This is something I wanted to talk on, or speak on. Now, you don't have to worry about all these ocean currents here. Now, this, once again, is something you would have to learn in a college classroom, maybe an advanced science in 11th or 12th grade. I need you to know the two currents that would affect the United States. It is the California current and the Gulf Stream current. Obviously, because we're on the east coast of the United States, you hear more about the Gulf Stream current. But if you lived in the west coast, you'd hear about the California current. There's also the Alaskan current. We're not going to worry about that one as much. The two that you need to know is that California affects the west coast. The Gulf Stream affects the east coast. Notice that the water comes out here, it comes down around Florida, it warms up, and it brings all that hot moisture up. That's why in the summertime, we get those hot, muggy days. That's all that energy coming up from Florida, Alabama, Louisiana, and it's bringing all that hot, muggy air up to the northeast. All right? Coming down. This is why I was talking about the continents located near a warm ocean current are always heated like a furnace. An example is Florida in the summertime. And the cool, if it located near a cool ocean current, it's always cool down, kind of like an AC unit. And I use the state of Alaska as an example of that. All right. Two major currents that affect the United States is California current and the Gulf Stream current. California current pushes cool water down. So it's coming from Alaska down. It's coming from Seattle, Washington down to San Diego, and it keeps everything nice and cool. All right. Then on the East Coast, what we're familiar with, it's bringing all that warm water up. So that warm water affects South Carolina, Georgia, the Outer Banks of North Carolina, Virginia Beach, Sandbridge, Virginia, Ocean City, Fenwick Island, Delaware. It brings all that nice warm air or warm water up from Florida. All right. And the next thing that we're going to talk about, and this is where we're going to start off on Tuesday, are hurricanes. Hurricanes are a major storm that happens in the hydrosphere and the atmosphere. All right. That's where I want to leave off today. Now, what I want you to do is see this YouTube video right here. It's just type it in Hurricane Katrina Historic Storm Surge video. I want you to embed that in your notes and watch this video right here. And you'll be good to go. And I will see you guys on Tuesday. All right? Make sure you study your notes. Bye-bye.